Okay, so
Food.
Bunce pays for your meal and leads you to his farm, which is only about a quarter of a mile away. There's this very small cottage next to the barn. Inside the barn, he leads you to where there's a large empty stall with clean hay that he offers you. And as if on cue, excuse me, as if on cue, you hear a hoot from an owl. Looking up, you can see a large white owl perched on a beam near an open window. The barn has several entrances, as it is a pretty rough and ready structure. The owl hoots again, and you can hear his mule Gertrude braying a bit. See what
Can I
I
ask?
yep.
So Lobelia's a little bit tossed. Is Bunce hottie?
Uh, he is an very. I wouldn't say he's an older gentleman. He's past his prime of older
All
gentleman.
right.
Yes.
Got halitosis.
If you're
Gotcha.
into that.
Okay.
Well,
He
I think it's Bella wouldn't care.
he is needing help from people to get rid of an owl.
Okay. So,
So
sorry, go on.
he says, "Well, good luck to you, and I just want that owl gone." And then he waddles off to his
Like, how
cottage.
gone?
He's gone. The
No,
the
but like, how
Bunce is
gone does he
gone.
want the owl? Do you want it gone, gone, gone? Or just.
I
Lobelia's
mean,
okay with not killing it if we
yeah,
don't want to.
we could
We
try
can
to.
just capture it. Ooh, we can make a
Yeah,
net with my yarn.
Much
there we
better.
go.
But it's
I was
fancy
thinking
yarn.
because I have hunting, or hunting, and then my craft sucks. But we could craft some sort of trap for it.
Does
If you have,
in the barn, is there any kind of cage?
You can
We can go look. We haven't looked yet.
yeah.
Because because should we roll for looking?
Well, yeah, we could go look.
Yeah, like shouldn't there be tools and stuff in the barn?
You can
Possibly.
scan. Somebody want to scan?
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
scan,
Okay, go for it.
or you guys should go for
No,
it.
I have nothing in scan, so I am more of an awareness person rather than searching for something specific. I could go in there and do a general awareness and see what I can find in the
Sorry,
barn.
okay, sorry. So if I scan, nothing surprises me. I have to be a little bit more specific.
You can
I'm
Yeah,
looking
like
for
to think of scan
a
like you're
trap
searching for something
of
specific.
some sort. I'm looking for traps, ropes.
It's a little bit more detailed. Yeah, a scan is a little bit more detailed.
Yeah.
Oh, so do I want to be doing awareness or something then?
You're looking about the barn for anything that could be helpful. So feel free to do a scan.
Okay. Oh, too far.
No, you're in the way. Oh, Sapphire's great.
I didn't get very good.
Now she's laying on 6 dice in the dice pit.
Nice.
In the dice pit.
Yep.
Looks bad. I got an 11 and a threes, a whole bunch of threes.
So
Did
you
not make
look around the barn and you see a barn. You see an owl and you see a mule and you see some hay and maybe a couple of tools, but nothing of consequence.
So,
I think I see a confused look on Velma's face. So I'm like, well, what'd you find?
Mm-hmm.
so
This is a barn. Just
All
has
right,
hay.
I'll go look. I'll do awareness to look just to any more general to.
Oh, yeah, I can accept that. Awareness.
Make a
Sure.
trap. Make traps out of for an owl.
Mhm.
Let's see what we can see.
Maybe it's under the hay. He hasn't been keeping this place up well.
All right. Target number was 15. This is for awareness. Target number is 15, and I have a 19 with 1/6.
So, being a farmer yourself, you're very aware of farm life, specifically rats that can hang out in barns, or field mice rather, that owls find pretty tasty. And you do see a little nest over in the corner with a couple of mice scurrying around. Nothing that's going to bug you while you're sleeping, but you're pretty aware that that's probably why the owl's hanging out in this barn.
Okay. So, what do you think, guys? Do we want to just move all the mice and rats out of the barn, or do we want to use one of them to try to put in a trap to trap the owl? Or what do you think we should do?
We should try to trap the owl with the mice, even though maybe getting rid of the mice is a good idea. Obviously, sounds like a good idea, but that seems a little hard to find all the rats. Like that one, that one beetle of dirt that you had to go in and like trap the puppies or something. And it really was spiders that they wanted you to kill or something. No, I'm just kidding. It just seems like a lot of. How many rats are in here?
You don't have an infestation. There's a couple of them, and keep in mind that hobbits are very close to nature and very in tune with animals, and you do have a couple other skills on that skill tree there that may be of interest if you think about Bill the horse and things along those lines.
Okay, so we'll go rat hunting and put them outside because we're really not tired at all from our log trip. Or is this funny because we're so drunk that this sounds
Yeah,
like a
I'm not.
great idea?
Does anybody have any hunter skills? Because I don't. I don't know if any of us have any.
Oh no, I
Yeah,
don't.
I have hunting.
I don't.
Maybe you're the one that can snatch mice, because I cannot.
Yeah, I can't either. So I have athletics. Does that work? Because I'm running after mouse. This is
You're not looking for athletics, no.
courtesy.
But again,
Nice.
you could actually try.
Please.
You could actually try courtesy. Hobbits are very, again, in tune with nature and talk to animals and
Yeah.
are very in tune with them.
Okay.
I'll roll for courtesy. I got some.
We could do
Math
courtesy, or
points.
I was thinking a more outlandish one would be like, well, what if we try and sing a song to lure the rats away?
Oh,
Like the
how
Pied Piper.
Yeah.
You
How
could
cute.
certainly do that to any animal in the barn.
Oh, the owl. We could do that to the owl. There you go.
Yep.
Okay, that's what we do.
Yes, you could try
So
multiple different things.
what would we like to do?
What I would probably do is use some of those muffin bits that you got in your pockets and
Uh-huh.
like I craft like a net, and then like I'd make a trap for the mice, and then I'd make a trap for the owl. But your way sounds much more humane and faster.
Okay,
so
so
we're rolling for songs.
we're gonna go with I'm gonna try and sing a song to lure them away.
Do you have which is stronger for you, your courtesy or your song?
Mine's courtesy.
They're the same.
Yes, you can do either of those for singing.
I failed in my courtesy, and so I won in my song. So next you guys can do it, and then we can
Well,
figure
you're
out
gonna
what
do one. You're gonna pick one skill first at a time. So you failed at your courtesy. Would you like to try song, Paladin?
Yes, I'll do the song. All right, so my target number is 15, and I got a 1621 so I got a 10, a 6, and a 5.
10, a 6, and a 5. Great. Okay, so and you said you wanted to attempt as well, Lobelia?
No, I mean I could
Or
help him with his song,
yeah, you do
but
have a
my
success,
courtesy is
but
higher.
yeah. So we'll just say that
The
Belba was
paladin.
like, Mr. Owl, you should go somewhere else. It's much nicer. And the owl just kind of looked at you curiously, because you're trying to be courteous. And
I'm a
then
little nervous.
Paladin, uh, you know, with a 6, jumped up onto the fence and started, swinging around a post, singing to the owl about how fat the mice are out in the forest and how juicy they are, and how the mice in here are sickly and filled with worms. And the owl looked at you inquisitively and then looked back at Belba and, almost as if talking to you, gave you a little hoot and then flew away.
Nice.
Yay!
Adorable.
Paladin,
Yay.
thank you.
Yeah. So well
Gonna
done.
leave the mice just living in the barn though? I mean, like that
Yeah,
seems
you
like a
can
joke.
you can do that. So after a bit of a stiff sleep in Bunce's barn, you are easily awoken by Bunce himself offering some quiches and bacon and a few scones for later. You bid farewell, and after a day's walk and some stopping for eating and munching, you reach the edges of Michael Delving upon the White Downs. You pass the spot where a southward path leads off from the main course of the East Road just as the sun sets, and the first stages of evening begin to reveal themselves ahead as you get a good look at Michael Delving. Quite a bit larger than Hobbiton and less bustling than Waymeet, Michael Delving is quite a town filled with upmost and respectable hobbits. If the Shire had a stately town, this would be it. It is tightly packed with a collection of homes built of wood and brick and stone, and the occasional hobbit hole. The last few bits of people you can spot finishing up whatever evening business they have before heading home. Your eye is drawn down the main thoroughfare of cobblestone to perhaps the largest hobbit borough of all, the seat of the Thrain of the Shire, the town borough. Its door alone must stand as tall as 3 grown hobbits. On an adjacent hill, but further south, is your point of interest, the Matham House. The Matham House is of course not as grand as the town hall, but still stands out as a wooden and brick home built into a hill. Not properly built in like a hobbit hole, but rather a hill dug out and the house placed in its comfort. It is
So what
off
was that place called again?
the Matham House. It's a museum.
Madam House. Yeah, thank you.
Yep. It is off the main road way by a small stone path and have a few other businesses near it that are now closing. As the candles of the businesses are blown out, candles begin to be lit in other homes as hobbits, not on adventures, settle in for the evening. As the streets empty, you notice a few bounders on patrol with lanterns and cudgels. Best to avoid them, to not have your mischief stop before it has even started. Now within steps of the main thoroughfare, you see some barrels by a stable to crouch behind and make your plan.
If it's by a museum, we should use some kind of lore, right?
Well, the museum it's a Matham museum. So Matham are trinkets and remember kind of like the elephant. It's gifts that people give away that they don't necessarily want. Well, this is actually a museum of that.
Okay.
And
And so this
I
is
don't
the
want to
place
go
that
there.
we were trying to go.
that's where
Right.
the map is, yes.
That's where the map is. So
Then we have to go in.
stealth.
Absolutely. So
Yes,
you'll want to, if you,
definitely.
how would you like to try to do stealth? How would you, what do you, you're behind these barrels and you're looking down the thoroughfare and just past the thoroughfare off this off little road, you can see the Matham house. It's kind of like a little bit, I mean, you have this large town hall, if you will, the town hall, and then back behind that a little ways, almost an off street, you can see the Matham house.
All right. Have we been to this area before in our past?
If you haven't, if you're all very much know of it, and I would say that Lobelia is probably most familiar with it, being most of the stately out of the three of you. But it's especially as children, you might have gone on a school outing to see the capital of the Shire. So you're all very aware of it and have a familiarity.
I mean, so what I was thinking was trying to get a layout of where the entrances are and exits.
So you,
So
yeah,
maybe, well, maybe Lobelia, you could make a roll for remembering if you remember the layout of when you last visited it.
Yeah. I would say we could see if we should wait until nightfall.
so it is nightfall.
Oh,
And
it is?
yeah, your main issue that you have right now is most everybody's gone to bed, and there's a few bounders, which are essentially kind of like their patrol. They're just making sure
Wait,
everybody's safe and things. It's not
Okay.
a military state in any point of the imagination, but they have one or two essentially mall cops, kind of just wandering around.
but shouldn't we see it in the daytime and then go in and steal it so that we know exactly where we're going?
Yeah.
I would say we bound and gag one of those guys and then wear his uniform.
Oh, I love this prim and proper and
You are going to
With
want
like
my
this
no
Potter
labor
spirit.
mom and
vicious
her
and
being very disappointed in the friends I've made.
Only one friend.
This violence will come in handy in a quest or two.
yep.
Well, I will roll for remembering if that's what I
No, you wouldn't necessarily
is
need to
productive.
roll. I would say that Lobelia is very aware of this town, and the thoroughfare is your main entrance and exits, and there's really as far as the side streets and the off streets, you can
Do
you can
we?
sneak off into residential areas if need be. As far as like making it to the Matham house, uh, you can skirt around and you can kind of hide in the shadows and kind of shimmy your way from barrel to house to little uh, coverings to make it there, but you'll need to all roll for a stealth
I used
check.
to fool people that I need when I was, it was like terrible to have on recorded, so maybe I shouldn't say it, but like I would always say my roommate when I was underage was inside and had my apartment keys and I was locked out. So I'm
Nice.
wondering if we should persuade them that I left my handkerchief earlier inside of the place.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or like a purse or something.
Yeah.
And then they
We
would
could
let
try
us
that.
in. Or my money bag, right?
Well, you notice that the bounders are
I'm not from here and I
primarily
left my purse inside.
you're noticing primarily the bounders are gravitating mostly around the town borough, the main town hall or the town hall, the main seat
Oh, they're
there.
not in front of the building. They're
Again, they're
just
not. They're not.
wandering
No, they're
town.
not in front of the museum. They're mostly they're meandering about, but their main thing is to watch over the town hall and to just make sure that the town is safe. But again, it's not a military state of a militia. You've got one or three bounders just kind of here and there, but mostly
Yeah.
you can kind of see them gravitating towards the town hole, the town burrow.
Well then, we should just go up. There's is there a window open?
Are you heading towards the Matham house to see?
We need to go get this map, right? That's the whole point.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
we need to roll for some stealth to do
Everybody
that.
needs to roll for some stealth. Get your splinter cell on.
All right. Hang on. I have to move Sapphire to get extra dice because I'm favored in stealth.
Excellent.
I am just fine. I made it. 12 and a 3.
Remember, if you do get an 11 on that 12-sided dice, that's a failure. It's weird to remember, but if you get an 11, that's a 0.
I got a 12.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
have 22 with 2 6s.
Wow, you are doing great on those 6s.
I got 14 for my target number.
got an 11
Just
that I'm
roll back.
throwing, and then I got a 4 because I'm favored in stealth. So I have a 4, a 6, and a 3. So I needed 13, so I got it, but I also have a 6.
Okay, so you were favored, so you got to roll 2 dice, and the 11 was a bad dice, but you were able to chuck that one out, and you have a better dice with the favored, right? Because remember, 11 is equal to 0 on those dice.
Correct.
So
all of what you just said is correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, awesome. So you all pass successfully. You're able to sneak through the shadows, and the bounders were 100% unaware, not even looking in your direction. They were busy talking about their lives and whatnot, and you're able to make it over to the Matham house. You look at it, and you see up at the top, you can see some light coming from a skylight that is open. And you feel like you might be able to access that somehow, maybe going behind crawling up the hill and going about that way. You can see the front door, which is pretty well lit as well. And then there are sides. It's well lit, but you're now back. You're past the boundary, so you're kind of in a safe area to really examine this place.
So when we say bounders, is that we're up to the building or off to the side or?
So the bounders are your patrol, and those bounders, you are now at least one, if not 1.5, those city blocks away from them. You've got a good distance between you and them. They're not going to really notice you messing about at the house.
How many stories?
It's from what you can see, it's like about 2 stories.
And you said there's an open skylight. So
There's an
we
open
have a rope.
skylight. There's a front door, and you have not, you're still kind of just coming up to it to explore it.
So, and Paladin, you were able to acquire a lockpick, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have a butter knife and some wires that I could probably pick a lock with, if depending on how I roll.
Yeah, would you like to roll a craft to try that? I think that's about right. Maybe craft. Craft or
Yeah, I also have a needle, knitting needles. So I don't know if that's capable of.
You might, yeah, I'd say that, maybe you could roll a craft or what were you thinking?
Yeah, I'm just looking at one. Yeah, I think craft is the only.
I might even go with a scan. It's a stretch, but I could see a scan or a riddle maybe working.
A riddle?
It's a little weird. It's a little bit of a puzzle,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
because you're trying to figure out the puzzle of picking the lock.
Yeah, I could buy that.
What about lore because of the
No,
history of the building?
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I could probably see that because there's no yeah, whichever like craft or riddle, whichever you would prefer. Matthew.
Let's do. I think craft makes the most sense to me. It feels crafty.
Okay. Because there's not any really skills for like fine motor control, like doing small, precise movements.
And crafting
Finesse.
is like making a fire, making a splint, those kinds of things. This feels like it's kind of up that alley.
All right, here we go. So my target number is 15, and I got 16 with a 10 and a 6.
10 and a 6. Excellent. So, yeah, you go down to begin to pick the lock, and your thumb actually hits the door, and it's unlocked. It just opens. So, which it was. Hobbits are very trusting, but I just thought I would mess with you. So, yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, you picked the lock very successfully of the unlocked door.
I know. I did great with that.
Way to go,
Maybe we
bud.
don't know. So the girls are like, "Oh, you're amazing."
You find yourself in a great hall with a lovely red ornate carpet and beautiful high entrance into with 6 rooms on either side, 3 on the left and 3 on the right. In the hall, there are books and some statues. You see 3 glass cases in the hall that are behind velvet ropes. One has an old wooden cup, probably one of the first Mathams given from Marcho to Blanco. Very old hobbits. The other has an umbrella, likely the first one in the Shire. And in the last is a set of brass buttons in a wooden bowl, likely those of Dina Diggle, who famously could not find anyone to give her buttons to, and thus began the inspiration of the Matham House Museum. Most concerning, though, is towards the end of the hall on the stairs, you see a curled up gray furry ball snoring. Likely Melva
Sapphire, what are you doing in here?
Slowfoot's terrier, Fireworks.
Oh, that's his name. I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give him a
Got
sausage
the
to
hot
feed
dogs.
him.
Well, he's sleeping right now. He's up on the stairs sleeping, and you have
Gonna
3
smell
rooms on
those
the left
things.
and 3 rooms on the right.
So you actually got us in trouble. He's gonna smell him.
He wakes up and smells me and chases me. Um,
Well, he hasn't woken up yet.
so do we scan
Throw them out the window.
to see?
Throw the
Yes, you
hot
can
dogs
go into
anywhere.
the different rooms
I thought you meant the dog. I'm like, what?
Don't do
I
that.
won't kill an owl, but let's throw this puppy out
That's
the
what I was
window.
about to say.
You're
I
okay
was
with
about
killing
to
an
say,
owl.
yeah, that makes
I'm
sense.
sorry,
No, throw
Matthew.
the hot dogs out the door. Leave your umbrella outside.
There's sausages, all right? Sausages.
Eat them.
Okay,
Let's eat
so
them
do we have to
before the
scan to see so like we see this room?
Yeah, you're in this main hall, and you can go into each of the individual rooms to scan.
Okay, so let's go into the first door to the left and scan it.
Yeah, do we want to split up and try and scan, go to different rooms and scan? Or just all of us go in the same
No.
room and try and scan?
Let's go all the different rooms first. And then we'll need help, and then we'll double up in a room.
Because there's 6 rooms, Matthew?
There's 6, 3 on the left and 3 on the right.
So we'll go left, and then go right, and all 3 different rooms.
Yeah, I could take one room, like the first room, and then you guys could take the second and third one on the left, and then we could do the same thing on the
Okay.
right.
And you said that Fireworks was on the upper level?
You can see Fireworks, but yeah, Fireworks is up the stairs a little bit, asleep on the stairs, snoring.
Okay.
Do we have to stealth our way into the room to scan?
No, you can just scan that. That's fine.
All right. So I'll roll for my
I still love that
I made
Paladin
it.
did some singing in the rain in the barn to the owl.
Heck yeah,
Right. That's
He's our
adorable.
hero.
it was great.
I got an 8 and a 5, and I had to check 13, and I'm checked. So
Um,
Got one.
I failed.
One failed.
Oh wow, I got it. Since we're using scan, I only have my D12 and I rolled a 12.
Excellent.
Nice.
Awesome.
Would you like to spend any hope, Aubin? You can spend a point of hope to roll an extra dice.
Um, so 10. Yeah, I could roll one more. Yeah, because I have 10 and I need 12. So let's do that. Oh, and I got
Sapphire just hit the keyboard and muted everybody.
Oh my gosh, she's a
Here
bad
we go.
girl.
Awesome.
What did you get?
Sapphire laid on the keyboard and muted everybody, so
Oh.
I just had to unmute people.
oh, that's
You were being
funny.
so terribly nice to her. I would be
So
like, bye. Get off my computer.
What did Lobelia get?
um I rolled a 11 and a 9, so I threw out my 11, and then I had a 1, in which case I initially had a 10. So I used a hope, and I rolled a 6-sided die to get a 5, in which case I have met my target number of 12 with a 15. So I'm successful in scanning the room.
Excellent. And did anybody get a 6?
I got I just got 12 on my roll, on my 1D12 roll.
Okay. So,
A 6 anywhere or a 6
yeah,
just on
no, so not on your 12-sided dice, on your pips. Okay. So Belba goes into the first room, and in the first room, she sees a lot of old clothing hung up and interesting furs, but nothing that she would actually want to take. They look a little outdated or grandmotherly in different ways. And you notice kind of higher up and off to the side and behind things is some chain linked mail vest type stuff. And you wonder if this might be um, the armor that Bilbo had talked about that he donated years ago that's just now collecting dust in the corner of Mithril that he's often mentioned. And then for Paladin, you go into a room that Lobelia would probably love. It's filled with spoons and silverware and cups and dishes
And umbrellas.
yeah, there's some umbrellas in a corner and nothing, obviously no maps or anything like that. Lobelia, you walk into a room that almost looks like Bilbo's desk that you were looking through, except there's no orcs and elvish writing. There's cooking recipes and cookbooks and so many cookbooks that are just all over the place, and some journals that people have drawn maps of the Shire, and you start to see different maps, and you actually see a map of the Shire that's up on a wall, but you don't notice any annotations on it. And a little frustrated, you start to move back, but you see a cookbook that gathers some of your attention. And as you're looking at that cookbook, you see behind it a map of the Shire that you notice some notes on and some different annotations on.
Ooh, so I found it.
You did.
I'm gonna take it. How do I take it? Do I stealth it?
You just grab it, yeah.
Cool.
Just it, as Bilbo had guessed, is perhaps all of the dust that exists in the Shire and is hidden away behind a bunch of cookbooks. However, the map is in surprisingly good condition. Uh, well done. You guys did not wake up fireworks. I'm upset. You didn't wake up my troll. Anyways, so you successfully recovered the map. You have a lovely journey home, bonding with each other over your adventures. You take the map back to the Shire. It's a rather swift and uneventful journey as you
Yeah. Yeah.
come
Well,
up.
I'd like on a trip back, I'd like to tell Lavilia that of all the glorious umbrellas I saw and cookware and tell her the tale. Of course, I
um,
didn't get anything for her, but
I'm gonna
Well,
use my
I didn't know if
awe
she'd want things
and
like that.
I'm going to intimidate you for doing that.
Well, and
Okay.
actually, that's very good that nobody stole anything from the Matham house because that would be very unbecoming of any hobbits and looked down upon. And while you did take this map, it was pretty much paid for, and this was of no consequence. This was forgotten about and hidden somewhere. So you finally arrive at the green door of Mr. Baggins at the end of Bagshot Row. It pops open like a firework. Spying the map in your hand, you found it! Wonderful, simply wonderful. Come in quickly. We will all need to review I need to review my grandfather's map quickly tonight if we're going to set off in the morning. Oh yes, we are just at the beginning, my fellow conspirators. Tomorrow the journey begins.
Yay! We
Yay!
And,
won.
Wow.
So
So, yeah.
I'm curious. So at this point, like I used one of my hope points. So now as we continue along this journey, do I have one less hope point?
You do. Now
Okay,
we will
so I'll change
learn.
that.
We will learn as the quest or adventure progresses, different layers to the games of how to get hope back and how to get endurance back. It's a layer cake to get you prepared for the open world game, wherein with this game, like falling in the river and those types of things may have taken away some endurance, but at this level it doesn't. Because it's like too much at this point. Just learning the dice and learning how to move around is what we're doing.